Yeah, baby, that's right. We are back, and you're listening to the Original Sports Show, and I'm your host, Leopold Jeans, the Big OG, broadcasting live here on CRN Digital Talk Radio, baby. Yeah, bump that, bump that. Bump that, bump that. Yeah, my engineer Matt keeping the show hot, keeping the show hype, because that's what we do on the OG Sports Show, baby. What you got to say? Say, hey, hey, hey. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, we're having a ball. Let's get into some sports talk here on the Original Sports Show, baby. So much going on in the world of sports, life, and love. What you got to say about that? So much going on. Go to OGSportsShow.com right now and go to the front page and look on the left-hand side of the OGSportsShow.com, and right there on the on the big lead, there's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. There's a GIF under the big lead, their RSS that I have running on OGSportsShow.com, and there's a kickboxer who got knocked out and then jumped out of the ring. He just jumped head first out of the ring. So they show him falling on his head out of the ring. It's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You know, these guys, these kickboxers and boxers, you know, they do that for a reason, you know. And speaking of boxers, there's a new boxer out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama called, his name is Deontay Wilder. And this guy is a beast. He's 6'5", he's big, he's bad, he's 25-0 with 25 knockouts. I watched him fight earlier this week. I friended him on Facebook, sent him a couple messages. We're going to try to get him on OG Sports Show next week. But this young man, oh, yeah, he's looking to give those Klitschko brothers a run for their money. He's looking to give those Russians a little run for their money. You know, those two big Russian brothers that have been dominating the heavyweight boxing ring. Deontay Wilder, American, out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That boy's bad, man. He is bad. I watched him in his fight, his most recent fight. 40-second knockout. The other guy didn't even get a chance to throw a punch. Deontay Wilder, watch out for him. Listen for that name. This guy's a bad man. He is a bad man. I haven't seen someone knock someone out that fast as Mike Tyson. You know, when Mike Tyson stepped on the scene. You know, Mike Tyson. And one of the best fights I've ever seen. And if you get a chance, go to YouTube or however you want to do it. Go look up Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock. That's one of the best fights you will ever see. These two guys were just throwing blows, man. And Mike Tyson was in his prime. And Razor Ruddock was like, I don't care. I'm going to fight you, man. And it was just nonstop action until Mike Tyson knocked him out. And then he had Razor Ruddock too. And it was the same scenario. Razor Ruddock came out throwing bows on Mike Tyson. Nonstop, shamelessly throwing bows on Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was a bad man. And I don't mean that in every way. I mean, yeah, the whole prison thing is, you know, that's for your opinion to have. But Mike Tyson, he was never the same when he got out of prison. He wasn't the same. And I always say this, if Mike Tyson had fought Evander Holyfield before he went to prison, he would have demolished him. He would have demolished Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield was coming up from the cruiserweight to the heavyweight. And Mike Tyson went to prison, and they weren't able to fight. They weren't able to get that off. And I say the same thing about Mike Vick, man. Since he's got out of prison, he hasn't been the same. You know, in the Eagles, they can't get lucky forever. And an interesting stat on the Eagles here. I'm going to give you an interesting stat. They're the first team in the NFL history to win their first 3 games by 2 points or less. First team in NFL history to do that. You know, they're barely getting away with it. And they're playing terrible. The Eagles, their defensive ends in that stance that they have where they're in the two-hand down and they got their heads down, they're over pursuing plays and running past running backs and stuff like that. These are little things that you can fix throughout the season, you know, all the minor details when you pay attention to detail from watching film and stuff like that. But a little bit of, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles aren't going to get lucky forever. And there's a battle in the Keystone State when they play the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. And it's not going to be an easy thing. Palomalu's coming back. You know, they're getting their defense back together, and we'll see how that goes. This will be a true test for the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles own the New York Giants. For some reason, they just beat them all the time. They just beat them. You know, there's no getting around it. The Eagles own the New York Giants. Early in the season, late in the season, you name it. That's going to be the New York Giants' one loss against Philadelphia Eagles. But I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm not a believer in the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to have to make me a believer. This is the type of football team that can win their first 3 like they've done and then run off and lose the next 6 or 7. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Dodgers, the LA Dodgers killed me. The LA Dodgers killed me. What happened, you guys? What happened? Ellis overrunning. You had a nice knockout there, smooth stand-up double, and you go for 3 and get thrown out. Crucial play. Dodgers missed the wild card by 1 run. 1 run. And it just broke my heart. I was standing up in my house rooting for them in the 9th inning, and then Shawn Kemp comes up to bat and strikes out. 0 for 4. That's all right, guys. We'll be back next year. We'll see how it goes. We'll be back next year. We'll get it together. If we can get some pitching to hold on and keep us in the game, that would help a lot too. But, you know, the Los Angeles Dodgers, you guys had a great season. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for so much for playing lights out. You guys played great. You know, always the one thing about baseball, if you look at the statistics in baseball, one of the most interesting stats is that even the best teams end up just above 500 in winning percentage. They'll be like 531, 542 in winning percentage, just above 500. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the baseball season is too long. Too long. You guys play way too many games. You could drop 2 months off the baseball season, and some of these teams will have like a 700 winning percentage, and you guys can make just as much money. You know, but, you know, people love baseball. I personally think they play too many games. 163 games is ridiculous. You could cut off 63 of those games and do the same thing and have the same result. But, you know, it's just my opinion on the original sports show, baby. Yeah, so much going on. We're having a ball, you know. How was your week, Matt? What'd you do this week, man? Were you going to school this week? How's it going? How's it going in that broadcasting academy out there at Mount Sac?
Oh, man, it's good. Just trying to hang in there. Make the most of it. Make the most of it.
That's right. So where are you in school right now? Are you about to transfer? Are you are you sophomore? Are you taking those classes? What are you doing over there?
I've been going to school way too long. That's what's
Hey, you know what the good thing is that you're working. You know, that's what I did. I was working when I was in college. I was writing for the LA Sentinel. And they're like, "You're writing for the Sentinel? You're covering college football?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well, I really do have to thank Mount Sac for giving me the opportunity to work in radio, something I really love doing. And, you know, it's because of them I can do what I do and do what I love. So
outstanding.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
That's it. You know, that's it. That's it. And A. Romney, don't be calling the students and American people the poor. I heard what you said. You lost my vote for that. I was looking for a reason to vote for you, man. And then you go and call the American people and students the poor. I heard you, man. You lost my vote, homeboy. I was up in the air. I really was. And we will talk about that when we come back on the Original Sports Show, baby. Holla, give us a call, 1-800-336-2225. We will be back.
Are you an inventor, or do you know an inventor who would like to attempt to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to industry? Well, for free information on how to proceed,